one, and are we live? Yep. Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to our live stream. Thanks for joining us today. Today live stream is building app with ChatGPT, and it sounds very exciting to me because this is something that I always want to learn as well. So we'll show how an app can be built and improved, then connect to ChatGPT, and yeah, in a real interaction. So this is a live session, so if you have any questions, you can drop them down in the chat at any time, and yeah, we'll answer them as we go by. Of course, this session is recorded, so you can rewatch this at any time you prefer. All right, so let me introduce to our lead demo today. So Davi, he'll be walking us through how to create an app and using ChatGPT, of course. And I'm Kit. I'll be guiding the session, by the way. And yeah, please drop your question along the way, and we'll help answer them. So without any further ado, Davi, can you give us a quick overview of what we're going to be doing today?
Yes, sure. Awesome. Thanks, Kit, for having me today in this live stream that we're going to talk about creating apps for ChatGPT, actually. So, how we can build apps and connect it into the ChatGPT. So, also to start, I will just share my screen just to show you the idea of our live stream today, we are going to build, what we are going to build. So, let me just select here the right window. All right. So yeah, basically, we are going to use Claude Code to guide us in the development, right? So we are using AI to guide the step by step in order
Mm,
to create our first ChatGPT app. So we are using something called Apps SDK. SDK is just a toolkit, a set of read-made tools that make building apps easier. So you don't have to start from scratch.
mhm,
We'll begin by running a few commands that create, some basic structure, but don't worry about it because Cloud Code will help us with that. And then we will start a local server to expose it to the internet so we can connect to it, right? Using ChatGPT because ChatGPT cannot directly access your computer. So we use an external tool to help us exposing this service outside. That I will also talk about it during the live stream. And once that's set up, we'll connect this server to the ChatGPT, and also we'll tell ChatGPT where our app lives and how to communicate with it. And after that, we'll test the app directly inside ChatGPT and make sure everything works. And then finally, we'll add a custom tool, which is just like a small piece of code that lets ChatGPT fetch live data. As an example, you can get the current price of the Cody from CoinGecko, for example, and display it inside a widget. So basically, we start by creating a to-do list. That's our first, let's say, example that's currently here in this. Let me, yeah, select this right one here. We have in the official OpenAI developers. That's the our ChatGPT documentation regarding the apps. We have a quick start, right? So this is basically how to create a new app step by step. So it's really cool because if you never, coded before, you can simply follow it step by step, copy and paste the code and create the files, and it will work. As I mentioned, you do something a bit different. That's using the Cloud Code and copy and paste the this link and provide it to Cloud Code and ask Cloud Code to help us on this step-by-step guide, right? So this is an official example on the OpenAI. It helps you to create a to-do list. This to-do list is very simple. I mean, you can simple add a new task to the list. You can check it as done, something like that. But it's just to illustrate how powerful it is and how you can extend it and create different kinds of app. So basically, you are creating a user interface to your app, so you can interact it using the ChatGPT. Because usually when you use ChatGPT, you are just creating some prompts, asking for some answers using text, right? And let me switch back here to the to this. And last year, October, around October, ChatGPT announced the apps SDK. So since last year, we are able to create apps for ChatGPT. Uh, it In the past they call it like connectors, but it's just for MCPs, for something like that. It's not exactly the concept of app that you can see now. And they they basically they are using now the concept of apps instead of connectors. So everything is app. I will show you on the ChatGPT later how you can like locate these on the settings. And since October last year, we'll be able to create new apps. And as you can see, there's already a tons of apps already available. You can use like the Figma app. You can use the different, famous apps and very used. Spotify, for example, you can search by any sound, for example.
Um, so this is actually applicable to every plan of ChatGPT, like whether you're on the monthly plan or you're using the free version.
Actually, in order to create apps, you need to have at least one of the paid plans in order
Okay.
to add connectors, actually, right? So uh, I can actually create something on, for example, as I will show today on my own machine. But in order to connect this new app, I need to have at least one of the paid plans. It doesn't work with the free plan, unfortunately.
Okay.
May in the future they can change it, but as for now, you cannot like have the possibility of add new connectors using the free plan. So this is something
Okay.
important to mention because it's a limitation that we
Yep,
have
of
so
course.
far. On my case, I have here the a paid plan, so I'll be able to show you. But it's yeah, keep in mind that you need to have at least you don't need to have the most expensive one, just
Yep.
not the free plan, right?
Okay. So basically, the just a regular version that I think it was like $20 a month. I think that should be enough, right?
Yeah, something around that. Yeah,
Okay. I mean,
exactly.
it makes sense. So basically, what we're doing is uh, it's like creating an API and you're putting it into other website, but this one is just the reverse of that, right? It's basically you putting an app inside the ChatGPT itself and using ChatGPT to go through the apps. Like for example, like here on the screen that says Expedia, you can ask it
Hmm.
to find hotels that around like $250 per night, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. If you are familiar with MCP, for example, MCP stands for the Model Context Protocol.
Yep.
That's a way that you can connect with an external world from your model, because the model is something trained.
Yep.
So if you want to connect with something else, with APIs, you need to use MCP. So you can think the ChatGPT apps as a front end layer on top of the MCP. So instead
Okay.
of just a resulting text, you can show it as an app, right? We are behind
Yeah.
the scenes, it's basically an MCP. It also uses the MCP library to add tools, exactly the same architecture, but
Mm.
they added a front end layer on top of it, basically. So, which is cool because sometimes you need to, you can improve the user experience by simply providing an UI with text fields that you can set some values. I mean, you can interact with the front end, but
Yep.
behind scenes it's acting like an MCP, right?
Hmm.
So you can do everything that MCP does, but now with the support of the front end. And you can actually create front end using like a vanilla JavaScript, a React, Vue, any language that you want, but you need to follow a specific like a structure to be recognized by ChatGPT. And MCP it's something standard across different I mean, AI assistants like Claude, ChatGPT, and any other. But ChatGPT apps, it's something that works only ChatGPT, right? So it's let's say I don't say like proprietary, let's say architecture, but it's something that at least for now it works only on ChatGPT. You cannot like migrate or reuse it on Claude, for example, Claude desktop. It doesn't work. We need to use it in
Okay, because
ChatGPT.
it's built in a certain not language, but like it's built on a certain model which is different from Claude, is it?
Yes, exactly. May in the
Yep.
future, me Claude can embrace this
Yep.
format and allow it to work. But for now, you can just like make it work on ChatGPT, right? So this is basically the introduction. Here you
Mm-hmm.
can, of course, check it out and read more about it. Also, here is the MCP that was introduced in 2024 and ChatGPT apps in 2025. All right, so here I have just illustration as already explained what we are going to build today, right? And create the starter project, run local server, expose to the internet, test the existing tool, create a new tool. We
Yep.
can iterate over it, create a new tool, and adding more and more capabilities to this ChatGPT app. Refresh the app so we'll be able to see the updates and test the new tool. So basically, that we have the Cloud Code part that's basically creating, coding it, and we have the ChatGPT on the other side integrating with it. So what we're going to do now, I will share my Visual Studio Code, right? My VS Code. Let me switch here the screen. I will replace with my. Let's select here the window, the Chrome tab. Let me just find it here. It's a lot of tabs, right? All right. Here is my VS Code. This is a free version. You can download it if you don't have it.
Mm.
And I'm using here the Claude code, right? So this is a terminal version.
Okay.
I personally like it because I mean you can integrate it easily with your VS Code or any other IDE that you have, and you just like type Claude and hit enter, and that's it. You have your Cloud Code console ready here. So what I'm going to do now, I will ask the Cloud Code to follow exactly the step by steps that you saw in the quick start guide. Let me just find here the link, and then I will ask to basically follow it. I will say, for example, I want to create um, Chat GPT app using Apps SDK. Please guide me step by step by following the instructions on this page. And then I will copy and paste the URL of the quick start guide here, right? So here, if you hold like the shift and tab, you can,
Mm-hmm.
for example, here change if you want just the plan mode, or you can uh, start editing it immediately. I will
Okay.
first select the plane mode just to see right the entire plan before accepting it, which is cool because you can probably save some tokens, right? Simply
Yeah.
validating the plan before I start like creating a lot of things. Okay, I will allow access to the quick guide because it's an external URL. You need to first time you need to allow permissions on that. And now it's like reading this quick start, and it will provide me uh, a plan, right? To
Yep.
execute it. So you need to wait here for a few seconds until it's done. And then you can create our first ChatGPT plan. What's cool now, it's that Cloud Code, I mean, a few months ago, I started asking you a few questions, right, regarding the intentions, what you want to do, and just to clarify a few things. Because I remember in the past, Cloud Code just like start planning without asking anything, right? Just like assuming something as true, but now it's asking questions, which is cool. Do you want to follow the to-do list example from the quick start, or would like to customize it for a different type of app? In our case, we want to follow is it as is. So follow the quick start guide exactly with the to-do list app. Um, uh, the quick start requires exposing your local server to the internet using ngrok. Do you already have ngrok installed? In my case, I already have it. If you don't have it, you
Mm-hmm.
can download it using the ngrok website. You can
Mm-hmm.
use it for free if you are just prototyping. Of course, it has some advanced functionalities, but you don't need it for now, so you can just download it and use it. Um,
Is ngrok the same as Grok? Is it the same one from by Elon Musk?
no, they are completely different things.
Oh,
ngrok is
okay.
basically a tool that create a tunnel from your
Okay.
local machine to the internet. So you don't need to publish your app uh, outside using the Vercel, for example, or hosting it outside. If you want just to prototype or test things, for example, you don't want to publish it
Yep.
using a server, right? You can just use your own localhost machine as a server because it's
Yep.
something temporary. And in that case, ngrok helps you with that, creating a tunnel. So it generates, let's say, a host for you that points to your machine. So your machine is your host, and you
Mm,
can use it to test things. So with no cost, basically, right?
of course.
Uh, okay, I think we have a plan here. Let's take a look. So first thing first, it will initialize the project structure. So with some files here needed. So it will create like the package JSON. It will also add a dependency on the MCP. As I mentioned, it uses MCP. And also it will create like the widget. Um, so it's basically the details here, create the web components, create the MCP server. So this is basically the backend layer, and this is the front end layer. The tool format response here, install dependencies, run server locally, and then expose this server to public internet using the ngrok. And step 7, connect to ChatGPT. So
Mm,
we need to open ChatGPT, enable developer mode in settings, and then I will show you later, but navigate and add it to the ChatGPT apps. So it looks nice. I mean, yeah, it started server, testing, integration testing. I mean, yeah, a Cloud Code likes to add more than needed. I don't know,
yeah.
to consume more tokens, maybe, but I mean, sometimes it's nice, but I think it's really yeah, I think it's a good plan for
Good enough.
now. Yeah, good enough. So let's accept it and let's see how it works. Also, you can. I mean, I try to check the resulting code. If you're not a developer, don't worry about it. You can just ask the Cloud Code to review it or to fix some issues if you have one. But let's see here. It's creating now the structure, the file structure.
Mhm. So
Um,
ChatGPT came last of the like is the last step of the process, correct?
yes, is the last step of the process.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Because I mean we're using the ChatGPT just to connect with the app, but not to code the app itself.
Yep.
Um, And but you can use any other, I mean, assistant. I'm using here the Claude Code, but you can use any other assistant to guide you through the process of the creating the code, right? Creating the app. But Claude Code is my favorite, I mean, tool. It's smart enough to give me good answers, right?
Mm,
And okay, now I need to install the dependency. But I mean, Cloud Code is just asking you to proceed to authorize the execution. As you can see, you don't need to have, I mean, coding skills. Uh,
mhm,
you can just follow the steps. And as I mentioned, is basically, I mean, a front end interface for your MCP. So it extends the MCP in a way that you can create a very useful user interface. On top of that, okay, now I can run and test the server locally. Let's just allow it to run. Okay, it's probably testing now if the server is working. If not, you can also run it separately. But let's first see if it's possible to do it in one shot, like simply allowing the Cloud Code to do everything. Mhm. Starting the server in the background. Let's take a look at the code here. It already created like the widget and also a server .js file here, as you can see. Those are exactly the two files that you can check inside the quick start guide. So we have two different files: the server and the widget.
mm.
Taking some time here. Yeah, it's trying to rewrite the server JS to use the current SDK API. Let's see if
Mhm.
it's gonna work. Um, all right, I can see changes here. Right, let's test it again. Running the server locally. Let's try again. All right.
Okay, can you tell me what's happening right now? Like what step are we on?
Yeah, it's testing the server. It's trying to start the server and checking if the server was started correctly.
Okay.
So it's basically running background work now.
Mm,
So we cannot see. Okay, I mean now it's almost finished. Yeah, your ChatGPT to do app is ready to use.
mhm,
Um, let's see here. Okay, open ChatGPT in the browser. All right. Here's some instructions. Next step: start ngrok. So basically, we have this command here. What we do,
mhm.
we create a new terminal here,
Okay.
and you copy and paste exactly the command that. Oh my gosh, let me go back here. This command here, the next steps instruction. All right, I just like hit enter. As you can see, this ngrok command just created a new tunnel. And here is my host now, right? As you can see, this is my local host.
Yep.
Only I can access it, but this is like the external host. And this is something interesting regarding ngrok. Let me test to see if this it's working or not. I think so. Um, Let me just reshare here my screen again. probably the entire screen so you can see exactly what I'm going to show here. Just a sec. All right. So here is the host. I simply copy and paste it, and as you can see, it's running, right? Just to
Mm,
test if it's running or not, right? Since I got this URL from here.
okay.
Now, all right, now you can start testing it. You can go to the ChatGPT, and that's what
Hmm.
I will do now.
So we're going up to the last step, which is the ChatGPT Connect, correct?
Yeah, yeah, we are going to test it now
Oh,
on ChatGPT.
okay.
Uh,
Oh,
it's
that's very fast.
pretty easy. Yeah, straightforward. You can click, for example, here. In my
Yep.
case, is my name, right? And go to the settings.
Settings.
And inside settings, you can see this option here, the
Apps.
apps. Okay, and that's also information here. For example,
Hmm.
connectors are now called apps. As mentioned in the past, they used to call it connectors, right?
Yep.
And now they rebranded it to apps because apps now has this ability, I mean, to add front end layer, right? On
Hmm.
top of it, you can also click on here and explore all the existing apps, the Photoshop, the Canva,
Mm.
Lovable. We have a lot of cool apps here for productivity, lifestyle. You can test it.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, even
so
Spotify.
Spotify, the Booking, TripAdvisor, really cool. And here I have added early today an example here. Let me just remove it to avoid confusion. Um,
Hmm.
just to see. Okay, this is basically the screen that we are going to see when we try to create the app for the first time.
Hmm.
So in advanced settings, you can click on it and enable the developer mode. Why it's important? Because in order to add new apps, as we are doing now, we need to enable it because they are like unverified apps yet.
Okay.
Since we created it right now, we are hosting it on our in my own machine, so they call it like unverified connection or unverified apps. To be like an official app, you need to submit this app um, so it can be available. I mean, on this, let's call it marketplace or in this list, right? But now we don't have this app available officially, so it's an
Hmm.
unverified app. So we need to enable this option here. That's developer mode. So okay, and now I need to click on create app and start here by, you can, if you want, set an icon here, but let's say my first app, the and here it's important, the MCP server URL.
MCP server. Yep.
That's exactly, let me go back here. All right, this address here.
Okay. Just have to copy the address. All right. So what
Mhm.
you for MCP server, you copy the address here and then just paste it over there.
Yes. Let me
Hmm.
just check something here. Yeah, you need to add at the end MCP, right?
Okay.
This is where ChatGPT will connect in the
Okay.
on this endpoint. So just like append to it, the slash MCP, right?
Okay.
In
So
terms of
guys who's
authentication,
watching, don't forget to put the MCP right after the link. So just
yes,
slash and then
super,
MCP.
yeah, super important. Here, no auth. We are not using any authentication right now, and
Okay.
yeah, this is something. I mean, a warning. I understand. I want to
Yeah.
continue because OpenAI hasn't reviewed this
Yeah.
MCP server, so
Yeah.
it's
It's like the term and condition.
yeah, it's my own risk, right? In
Mm.
this case, let me create it. I mean, if everything went well, I will be able to connect. In that case, as you can see, there is some issues with our MCP, probably because Cloud Code tried to change some files during the creation. So let's do something. Let's verify. As you can
So
see here
Paul
in
Man
this,
B says use skills instead of MCP.
yeah, let's, for example, replace this server JS code that Cloud Code creates
Yep.
by this from this step-by-step guide, because
Okay.
I noticed that Cloud Code changed something, but
Yep.
we want that. We just want to follow these exactly. So just copy here, right, and paste here on the server JS. This is
Okay.
one file. The other file, I think, is that one here. That's the yeah, the to-do widget. I will copy here, go to the to-do widget and paste it here, right? So based on that, let me just refresh. Let me just check here if I need to run the server again. I'm not pretty sure, but I will try to rerun it again here on our ChatGPT app. Let's say, yeah. All right, me, I need to start the server again. Let me do it. Just we rename it as ngrok to avoid any confusion. And I will create a new one here. That's basically the server, right? And then I will run the server here. I will just like, okay, yeah, this is running in our background. So kill the background task. I just ask it to kill the existing one to avoid conflict with my new server here.
Yep.
And let's run it outside of Cloud Code to have more control over it. Now it's killing. Okay, it looks like already is already killed. Just wait to complete. All right. So here, node server.js. Okay, it's listened to the same one. So let's just check here now the ChatGPT.
Create. What happened if
All
you
right.
do instead of slash MCP, you do it slash skills instead? Bob and be asked from the command.
In our example here, this
Yep.
server, it's exposing the slash MCP only, right?
Ah,
So
okay.
we are just implemented the MCP, so nothing will happen if you try to try different endpoints, right?
All right.
So, okay, it went well after I rerun the server, right?
Yep.
Because to refresh with the changes, it was
Mm-hmm.
able to communicate with the MCP, and then I was able to add it in our, I mean, and the nice thing here is if you click on it, right, you can see like all the actions available. For example, I have a add to do,
Yep.
complete to do, basically, just those two tools we have available right now, but
Mm-hmm.
you can see here exactly what's available or not. All right, I can simply now click on this button here. You have this
More.
more
Ah,
option,
okay.
and here your
More
app will
app.
be available here, right? My first app.
Ah.
So this
Yep.
is the the secret.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it here. So now I will try asking things, but contextualizing my question using my first app here as I have selected it. All right,
Okay.
let me just, for
Just
example,
quick
mhm,
question. So if
go
I
ahead.
understand this correctly, just for those who's listening that doesn't know what's going on, I'm just gonna ask in simple terms. Like for example, like here in this case, you in ChatGPT, when you select my first app, does this mean that every time when you ask it any question, it will refer to the app first before going anywhere else?
Yeah, it uses the app first.
Okay.
Um, this is how actually the MCP works as well. It tries to prioritize answers for your question
Mm-hmm.
using in that case, the app first or the MCP
Mm-hmm.
first. If they cannot like get any answer from your app, it will try like
Mm-hmm.
to do as usual, right? Getting answer from the model or trying to guide you in a different direction. But basically, here we are contextualizing your prompt
Mm-hmm.
using your app. So yeah, it will try to prioritize to try to get the
Okay.
answer first for from your app. So it
Okay.
will actually, as I have mentioned before, it will try to match your question against the available tools, right? In that case, we have
Mm-hmm.
two tools. One to add new tool, I think the other one to complete the task, right? So if it's related with that, okay, they will use it. If not, they will try to give you an answer from the model, right?
I see. So, so other than apps, like you can add data, like if the app has database inside, like, let's say I work in a corporate and I have lots and lots of database, clients' data and everything, I can actually do the same method for this and then get ChatGPT to basically go through the list and ask it any question it wants.
Exactly.
Mm,
And that's cool because in that case, we are not using authentication, but in case of a corporate solution, you can implement
yeah.
authentication. So you can limit, I mean, this app just to the employees, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And because you are going to get information from the database, but
Right.
also, it's important to mention that if you have some sensitive data and we are
Mm-hmm.
asking it to ChatGPT to use it, at
Mm-hmm.
some point we are going to share this data with the model, right? If you are
Mm,
iterating with it, even though it gets the information from your app,
yep.
it's like sharing it with the model, right? So
Mm.
keep in mind if you have like sensitive data that cannot be shared with any other company, like don't expose it through an app, right? um,
Okay.
yeah, even though we are doing like authenticated access here, right, through the app, it's returning this data to these to this window, right? And from
Okay.
that point on, you can continue asking new questions and sharing these with the model, for example. So
Okay,
um,
so anyone
just
who's watching, if I understand this correctly, I mean, if correct me if I'm wrong, so basically what Davi is trying to say is, whatever you expose to ChatGPT, it's gonna be a public data.
Yeah, it's going to be used by ChatGPT in some way. Of course, we have some privacy, I mean, notes regarding that. But the point is, it's not like guaranteed that this data will be private, right? Because it's
Mm.
under the ChatGPT side, and they
Mm-hmm.
can change their policies, right, when they want. So just to keep in mind, if it's something really really important,
Sensitive. Yep,
sensitive, yeah, please, I think, let it private in
of
your
course.
local database, right?
Yep.
But for example, most of the use cases is related to, for example, booking.com. For example, it's a pretty much good site that you can plan your trip and the hotels. It's not, let's say, private data. I mean, you
Mm.
need to get the
Yeah.
prices, right? Availability. So this is a good use case. And so,
I
uh,
mean, it's the
w-
opposite of private actually, because you actually want to advertise what you have on booking.com, right? Like, okay, we
yeah,
have this
yeah.
room available, we want more client, we want more customers to, to
Hmm.
join us. So it's, yeah, it's different from back end of a company of a private data. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, if it's like a finance app, if you wanna
Yeah, yeah, of course.
share the finance report of your app,
Yeah,
please
definitely.
don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So here, for example, I can just add a new task to read my book, for example. Let's test it, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's still working on it, but as you can see now, you can see a front end, right? You can see a
Okay.
widget, and it added, right, the read my book.
Yep.
So because I just asked it, it's okay. Add a new task to read my book. And this is the interface inside the widget.
Yep.
That's the what we created, and we can also iterate with it. So I
Oh
mean,
wow. Like you can
yes,
literally
here,
type inside that. I thought
yeah,
it's picture generated.
no, you can
Ooh.
also close. Okay,
Okay.
I we haven't like implemented the delete, but okay, it's just to understand, right? You can
Okay.
add new tasks, you can complete new ones, just using the, and here is the detail, right? If you want to
Mm-hmm.
understand how it works behind scenes, you can expand this and understand it, the reasoning. But yeah, that's the whole idea, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can ask things, referencing your app, and then
Mm-hmm.
using it to display and actually execute action using prompt. So this is the first example, a very simple one using the task. As you can see, very simple. You can do it in a few minutes with no code experience, just with the help of the Cloud Code, and also the quick start guide that was checking it before. Now let's add a new tool here. As mentioned before, just to get, for example, crypto prices from CoinGecko.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is another kind of integration that you can do. You can go back here to the to the Claude. Let's let me get here these. Let's create a new prompt. A new prompt here. Create a new tool to get Cody price from Coin Gecko and display it in a widget. Right. So okay, just that. Let me switch to plan mode first. And let's see. Now that we have a working code here, working examples, it helps the Cloud Code to have more context on how to create the second tool because it
Yep.
can use the existing code that we already have and understand the correct
Mm.
way to. And this is cool about creating your first example first using the quick start because we're teaching the AI how it works, right? And then it can reads the code and add a new tool um, following exactly the same standard.
Of
So
course.
okay, I will help you create a new tool to fetch Cody price from CoinGecko and display it in a widget. Let me first understand the current code base structure and plan for this implementation. So uh, now you can see some questions here. Should the Cody Price widget be a separate standalone app, or would you like to integrate it with the existing to-do app in the same server? That's exactly what you want to do to integrate it. It's not a separate app. It's exactly, in our case here, for simplicity, it's exactly the same app. I just want to add a new tool. What price information would like to display in the widget? So the current price only, or for example, the price with market data. Let's focus on simple current price only. How should the price data be updated? You want to on demand only. User asks ChatGPT to fetch the latest price, no
Mm-hmm.
automatic updates, or would you like to automatically refreshes the price every minute or so? So let the keep on demand only. Um, I really like those questions to clarify things, right? It's something
Yeah.
to help to, yeah, to understand the requirements better. So now it's updating the plan to consider our answers. And let's wait. So you can have a new tool available here. And so you can start testing the price capability. Still working on it. All right, updated plan. Updated plan again. All right. Now we can see some. code changes made by Claude Code. Also the API here. It's nice because I didn't provide the API URL, right? So it was able to get it. Let's see if it works because I think so. I think it's the correct one. Okay, the widget communication flow. User asks ChatGPT for Cody price. ChatGPT calls the Cody price to. All right, let me go back again. And the server returns response. A server fetch data from CoinGecko, returns the response. ChatGPT renders the price widget with the data, and widget displays the price using the JavaScript. So,
Mm.
all right, we approve this plan, um, and let's see how it works. Same thing, it will update the code. Once it's done, we need to refresh the app to change the stake effect. So I will show you here basically how to do that. So here, if you click on settings again on apps, you'll be able to click on your app again. And you can see here this button is a refresh button. So once the code is updated on your side, you can just click on it. So you will be able to see the new tools available here, right? So we need now to wait until the code is ready, and then we do exactly that. We start our server again, and then we
Yep.
refresh the app, and then let's start, let's say, testing it. Okay, it's finished. I will start it again on my own here. All right, let's refresh here again and see if it works. Yep, I can see now we have a new one here, the get Cody price. So along with the add to do, complete to do, we have the get Cody price. So it's already available. Um, so let's do it again. Let's select the app and just ask, for example, get Cody price, right? And
Yep.
hit enter. All right, fetching Cody price. And
Ooh,
it's, as you can
this is
see,
real
it's a
time.
widget. It's a real time. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's check it in
Yeah.
our CoinGecko.
Okay, cool.
And let me find here the Cody ticker. Yeah, I think it's right. Let me show it here.
Yep. Exactly.
Exactly right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Nice.
yeah, it's integrating with CoinGecko and getting the Cody price. Um, yep. So yep, you can extend it. I mean, adding more information on it, the market cap, for example, and any other thing. But this is a very simple, I mean, example of how we can start creating ChatGPT apps.
Yep.
Um, it works really well. You can explore. I mean, as you can see at the left side, we have now two different widgets,
Hmm.
and yeah, you can, if you can just ask the Cloud Code to improve it, to change the UI, right, to do
Yep.
something different. Um, but yeah, it's working really well.
Hmm.
And yes, one important point here is that as you are using the ChatGPT, right, you are
Yep.
consuming tokens, right? It's not
Correct.
free. So it's as usual when you use ChatGPT, you are consuming tokens any time that you ask something. It's not
Yep.
different when you refer to your app. So yeah, keep in mind just that it's also consumes token to do that.
Tokens.
Even though the app itself, it's something that you can create and publish with no, it's free, let's say, to create apps you are not like charged by creating a new app,
Yep.
but in order to use the app, the user needs to consume tokens, right?
Of course.
So here we used the ngrok to expose it outside to the internet in order to connect with the app, and then we can use it inside the ChatGPT. But
Hmm.
let's say if you want to publish this app to be an official app, that is something that we need to check before. For example, I think here we can see a warning here. So
Yep.
widget is not set for this the CSP. It's like a security policy is
Hmm.
not set for this template. And also we need to have a unique domain for this app submission. So it doesn't work as I did now um, to provisioning ngrok, in our case a temporary domain, right? You need to have a unique domain. For example, if we need we want to have like a Cody app, we
Hmm.
need to publish it under a Cody domain, right? Cody ID domain.
Domain. Yep.
And the same thing, we need to define some security policies. For example, you need to specify exactly the URLs that you want to allow to be called inside your app. For example, in our case of the CoinGecko, I need to explicitly say only this app can call CoinGecko only.
Mm.
So we need to restrict the list of addresses that your app can interact with. So
Mm.
this is something that I don't need to do in a developer mode because we're just testing it. But if you want to
Hmm.
publish it officially, you need to specify it. You need to define it. You can also ask Cloud Code to help you on that. It's just a new file that will be added to your app, and also uh, you need to buy a domain or use an existing domain if you want to submit your application to be available on the ChatGPT store or ChatGPT list, right? But basically, all the steps are the same. You can simply create it and integrate it with anything, right? With any API, anything that you want. And you can here like create a beautiful UI for the users,
Yeah.
not just to display things like here, but also
Yep.
like in our first example, you can also interact with the app, adding things, removing things like a
Mm.
normal, I mean, smartphone app, for example. You can create something like that. And it's cool. As mentioned, you can also add some authentication
Hmm.
capabilities. So you can use your app logged in your own user, right? So let's say
Correct.
if I'm using an app to a to-do list, an official to-do list app here, and I have an account on this app, I
Of
can
course.
configure my authentication, and anytime that I ask to add a new task, it will be available on under my user.
Yep.
So it's basically the idea here, the whole idea of ChatGPT apps.
Yep.
Um, which is cool. I mean, I really like it. It's a new way to interact with the tools because we already had a live stream regarding MCPs,
Correct.
and um, you probably remember that you are using MCPs just by texting, right? Asking
Yes.
things and receiving text response. And now the difference is that you can not only answer user by text, but also by providing interfaces, UI
Mm.
interfaces like
Yes.
normal web. I mean, that's the whole idea. As you can see, it's very
Um,
simple, very easy. I mean, to create
yeah.
apps,
If
right?
I have a question, so what I wanna ask is basically what's the difference between this what we're doing here and using an API, using ChatGPT API to the app itself.
Yeah, the ChatGPT API. If you want to connect with the, for example, if you want to connect to the OpenAI
Hmm.
to create to send some prompts to the
Yep.
OpenAI. You are creating, for example, an application on Lovable, and you
Yep.
want to integrate with some AI capabilities.
Yep.
You can call the OpenAI. model
Mm-hmm.
models using
Yep.
the API behind the scenes, right? So we
Yep.
already have a prompt. You can simply automate those prompts, and each time that the user click on a button, it
Of
submits
course.
a request to the OpenAI and get it back to your app. This is different because when you can actually use the OpenAI API inside your ChatGPT app because you can call anything actually, right?
Yep.
But they basically are two different apps, right? You have apps that run outside of ChatGPT that you can, as usual, call any other API. But
Yep.
if you want to work integrated with the ChatGPT, the only way is by creating a ChatGPT app following a specific standard, specific structure to be recognized as an app inside ChatGPT.
Mm.
But you need to evaluate if you need it. I mean, the use
Mm-hmm.
case, if it's best to create a ChatGPT app or if it's best to create something isolated, something that you don't need, for example, it.
Mm.
It depends on the use case. In this example here, for example, the
Mm.
Cody price is a very simple example, but
Yeah.
just to provide a better way to visualize it. But for example, I don't need an app just to display the current price of Cody.
Yeah.
I can just output it as a text, right? The
Yep.
user will be
Correct.
able to see it. But if I want to beautify it, right, and
Yeah.
give a better experience to the user, okay, I will. But maybe it's not the best use case. I mean, the to do list is a cool use case.
Yep.
You can simply, instead of going to the your to-do list app, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
can currently use the ChatGPT to help you on that. And
Okay.
also on automations, right? You can probably create some prompts that integrate with different kind of apps, right? I can
Yep.
get, for example, I will integrate with the booking app.
Mm-hmm.
I will get some availabilities from some hotels, rooms, and once I have a plan, okay, I will book this hotel here. Now I want to add it to my to-do list, for example. Just I mean, an example. I can get the resulting booking information from booking.com app and
Yep.
pass it to my to-do list app. So it's a good example because I'm already using ChatGPT. ChatGPT already has the context of the data, and then I can use it to pass it to the
Mm.
next app, right? So the cool
Yeah.
thing is that you can connect more than one, even though we are using just one app here, we can connect more than one app at the same
Yep.
time and start asking questions involving all of those app and have a
Mm.
unique response, right?
I
Or
mean,
integrating, right?
I could see like in the future, like you're like you have a phone, and you can actually use this model would be in the phone. Like instead of going to the app store and downloading hundreds of apps to put on your phone, like you might just download one AI app, and you just have all the necessary app that you use on a daily basis in that app itself, and like and get it to generate these kind of UIs like this, like
Mhm.
based on chatting. Like I think this could be the future. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I really agree with you because instead of having a specific purpose app that you have a separate app for specific tasks, we
Correct.
are going to have something more goal driven, right? I want
Yeah.
to do something and I want an outcome and help
Yep.
me with that. I mean, I want to travel to somewhere. Just help
Yep.
me with that. I am not like saying that I need a specific app for that, but I
Yep.
have a goal. So, and
Correct.
we can use agents to,
Yeah.
to help you with that goal, connecting with different sources and providing with
Yes.
the information that we, because at the end of the day, we are using apps for some purpose. We need like to reach some goal, right, with the app,
Correct.
and uh, and maybe this is the problem right nowadays because we have apps, vertical apps for specific needs,
Yep.
but we can now start with a single question, integrating everything in order to give a
Correct.
single response from different
Yep.
sources, right? It helps a lot, right, in
Yep.
our routine.
Yep. I mean, that's yeah, it's very insightful. I'm not gonna lie. It's I think this is where the future is heading, and I'm actually very excited to see like when you were mentioning we only need some specific task of each apps, and I think that's why I use browsers instead of downloading the app itself, because like I don't need the
Yeah.
other tools of that. Like for example, if I want to go travel, I just want to book because I have a conference in a specific country. I just need to book a flight there, but I don't need the whole session of of the whole app for that. And I think that's why I
Mhm.
use the browser in my phone instead, because I don't want to go through the process of downloading the app, go
Yeah.
through, logging in and all that. Like if I go through the website, it's just done.
Yeah,
So I think it's
and also because nowadays we need to understand where to find the specific information. For example, it's not just downloading the app. I need to know how the app works. Uh,
correct.
to understand the functionalities it has. Like if I want to do something with the app, I need to be familiar with the app. But
Yeah,
imagine, spending a lot of time trying to understand how the process works inside the
yeah,
app. On the other side, I could actually just ask, right?
yeah,
I don't need to learn about interfaces, right?
correct.
And I need to get answers from my questions. So it doesn't matter the interface. So it's something that the AI can now solve it for us, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
sometimes I see people struggling with a new app because it works differently from the other one. But it's we are like spending a
Yep,
lot of time understanding how the mechanics, how the app works, instead of getting the right answer. Right?
yep. I mean, that's fantastic. Would that be all for today?
Yes, that's basically all
Awesome.
from today. Two
Uh,
examples, right? You can
yep,
now, based on that, you can
yep,
start playing and
yep,
expanding those examples using
yep.
AI, and and playing with it, trying with it
Yeah,
using the ChatGPT. And I think with this session, we have everything that you need in order to start developing ChatGPT apps.
of course. And yep, that's a wrap, guys. So thank you for joining us today. I think you've seen like what we can do with the ChatGPT. I think it's much more powerful than to 2025. I'm actually really excited to see what's going to happen in 2026. It shows you actually how AI fits into the real world, and it's not just demos. And of course, thanks Davi for walking us through it, and also thank you everyone who joined us today. This session will be online at Cardi Foundation YouTube website, YouTube live stream. You can rewatch this at any time you prefer. And of course, please drop a comment, like, and share the video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our live stream. And until next time, stay caught.